This is day 5 of the movement challenge. Today we are going to focus on activating our core, and we are going to do this by learning how to do a plank correctly. Keep in mind that to do this plank correctly, we have to learn how to breathe correctly, and we talked about that at the beginning of the challenge. We need to take those nice deep belly breaths to activate that core, and then we build on that strength by doing a plank.
So one of the important things about mobility, we've been working on a lot of motion, which is one of the main parts about being mobile, but the other part is about being stable, and that's what the plank is going to really do. It's going to create this stable platform where your spine and your body feels comfortable moving, because if you don't have stability, then your motion patterns aren't going to be safe, they're not going to be correct. So what we're going to do too when we have Dr. Perkins demonstrate this plank is we want to make sure we have what's called a neutral back. So you don't want your back to be bowing, you don't want your back to be swaying, you want to be a nice neutral back. As you breathe, you want to really tighten that core, and you'll feel that burn. You should feel it all through the midsection. So first thing we're going to start is by having Dr. Perkins come down on the floor again. And she's going to get into basically a push-up position. So for some people, this will be their plank. So just getting in this position will be fairly difficult. And note she has a nice level back. It's not bowing, it's not arching. We want that. And she's going to breathe, she's going to feel that, and she's going to tighten the whole core. For those of you, however, that can go beyond this, now she's going to come up on her toes, and she's going to go straight. And again, we have this nice straight line. We're going to have the low back neutral. She's very stable, and she's going to hold this until she starts to shake, or if she starts to lose this structure in her low back. So if she starts to dip, if she starts to sway, we want to stop. We want to come back into this neutral position like this right here, because it doesn't help us to practice movement patterns that are faulty. So once she does that, she can go ahead and do that again, and you can do that until you're not able to do the plank anymore. If that was okay and you're good with that, and you can do that for 45 seconds to a minute, a way to make it a little more difficult is to come up in the same position, come down on your elbows, and then come up on your toes, and you're going to find this is a more challenging position. You should feel it much more in your not just your abs, but your obliques and the other muscles around your trunk, because we're trying to really strengthen the core muscles. So again, that's perfect. And then she would come down as she starts to get tired, and she comes up correctly. And now she's back into one of our beginning starting positions. Good straight spine, everything else. So then if these were too difficult, if you just cannot get on the floor, there's another modification we can do. We can actually start, especially if you have shoulder injuries or a previous back injury, you can actually start this movement on the wall. And you can start here, or if this is okay, then you can actually lower yourself down onto your elbows on the wall, and you're still doing the exact same thing. Neutral spine, breathing properly, really tightening up the core, and you can feel that as you do it. And then as this becomes easier and easier, you can move down, you can go to a table, you can go to a chair, and eventually you can get to the floor that way. But this is a great way to start strengthening the spine, the muscles around the spinal cord, and to help gain stability as well as motion. So hope these work for you guys, and we will see you for day 6.